Well, good morning. Today is Saturday, December 9th, and we're going to go over the new program for Weight Watchers called Freestyling. That's what our meeting was about today. It actually started on Sunday, but my meetings are on Saturday, so I had to wait. I'm one of the last people to find out. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. If you want to get more information, check them out. There's a lot out there that are going over the plan. But I will start off with my weight loss. I did lose 0.3, I think it was. Yes, I lost 0.3, so I'm down to 250.5 for a total weight loss of 53.7. I had a loss for the last 5 weeks. I'm on a roll, and not a lot. In the last 5 weeks, I've lost 3.1 pounds, which is not a huge amount of weight, but it's better than gaining. It did take me, like 1 week I had 0.3, 1 week I had 0.4, 1 week 0.6. It's very discouraging not to at least lose a pound. But, like you keep going on the right track and you're going to eventually lose all the weight. And I have lost 53 point, what did I say? I forgot. See, you get to the point. 53.7 since December 31st of last year. So I think I did pretty good. People always say, well, if you lose a pound a week, that's 52 pounds. And then nobody ever does. Well, I did. And you know what? It does feel pretty good. So next year, this time, I want to lose another 53 pounds because I got a ways to go. But they told us the quote for the day was, "This is the beginning of anything you want." And the program is it seems pretty good. It really does. They did a clinical trial for 6 to 9 months, and they started it 6 to 9 months ago. And they had 2 different plans, but they ended up with the Freestyle plan because they found out that with that one you had more stamina and endurance, and your hunger and food cravings kind of diminished because there's so many choices for you. Because fewer restrictions means better flexibility, which is true, and that is so true. But the 0 points, which I'm sure everybody's already heard, but I'll go over them again, is fruit, vegetables, tofu, lentils, beans, fish, shellfish, eggs, skinless chicken, and skinless turkey. And non-fat plain yogurt. You have to remember that if you have a flavored yogurt, you have to, figure out the points for that. And also remember that if you're going to get lunch meats, like if you're going to get like a smoked turkey or, chicken, you want to check them just to make sure, because they are going to be a little bit of more points because they're made a little bit differently. And if you put the fruits into a smoothie, you can't count that as a 0 points because it breaks down and your brain doesn't register that you're drinking something rather than eating something. Because when you're eating something, the natural sugar, your body absorbs it as you're eating it, whereas if you break it down, it's automatically put into the smoothie, and it just goes to your brain that it's a drink. And someone asked, can you eat it with a spoon? No, you can't. You can't eat it with the spoon. But so if you blend your fruit, you got to count it. And you have 4 points every day that you can carry over. My new points is 24. I went from 34 to 24. And so that means that if I only use 20 points in a day, then I can roll 4 over for only 6 days. I know 7 days is a week, but they figure that your next meeting, that you'd use it in that day. So 24 points is pretty good. You can go out to eat, and then you use your 24 and the 24. That's 48 points. That, that's a lot of, well, I went out the other morning for breakfast, and it was a 45-point omelet, if I figured it out right. So I would have been fine. And I really was fine because I had that the other day, and I still lost this week. So that's all you got to worry about, is just keeping track of, I'm sorry, I got somebody bothering me there. But anyway, there was a lot of books. So we started off with our freestyling book, and that's just telling you that, like you can eat all the 0 points that you want. What you want to do is you want to start your foundation of your meal with a 0 point meal, with your proteins and your, most of the red meats, not most of the red meats like beef, lamb, there was something else, beef and lamb, sorry, I wrote it down, and pork. Those you got to count because they're considered red meats. And, but you still would base your meal around something 0 point and then add some of the other points. You still have to track because you want to keep track of what you're doing, but you're not going to track your 0 point items. So there's so many books that they gave us. They gave us this book, which is called Enjoy, and it's a grocery and dining out guide, and it kind of just gives you some ideas of how the rollovers work and how you work the Freestyle program when you're eating out. and how you can account for your beverages, and how do you figure out your portion sizes when you're eating out. It's kind of hard when you're eating out because you don't really know, but you can kind of, like if you order chicken, it's mostly going to be a boneless chicken, unless you ordered it fried. But if you ordered like a grilled chicken breast, you can figure that that's going to be 0, and your vegetables. Ask the chef how they're making them. Sometimes they put a butter sauce and stuff on it. You gotta, you really gotta make sure. That's why when you make stuff at home, it's less point value than when you order out. Because when you order out, you don't really know what ingredients they're using, whereas when you make it at home, you know exactly what you're doing. And sometimes you're going to scan a product and you're going to think it's 0, but it's not. And the reason being, once again, is the amount of ingredients that they put in it. But this is a pretty good book because it gives you, you'd have to join the meeting to get it, but it gives you all of the little guidelines for the different things that you can buy. And then this book is pretty thick. It was introducing the Freestyle. And on the back, they give you a little pocket guide that you can carry around. Most people have their phone with them all the time, so they don't really need the pocket guide, but it's nice to have. And then they give you a little tracker thing. I use a journal that I keep track in, and I like it that way. I have this journal that I bring. I just got this as a gift, a Christmas gift, but I bring this to my meetings now to take my notes. So, because I do take notes. People look at me like I'm crazy, but I do take notes because they do help me. I refer back to them. But then it's telling you how to meet your plan and to like I said, my daily Smart Point budget is 24. My weekly stayed the same at 42. But now I can roll over, so that's kind of nice. And then they give you different ideas of how you start building up your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. I always find that if you plan your breakfast, if you plan your meals for the day ahead of time, you kind of have a general idea how many points you're going to use during the day. And I still plan on tracking my 0-point items just to keep myself in check. And I think that if you do that, then you're more aware of what you're eating. And they do tell you a few pointers when you track: be as accurate as you can be. Track in the moment. Don't try to remember later on what you ate. And be kind to yourself. Not everybody's going to have a great day. And, you might go over, but then if you rolled over points from the day before, you'll be fine. So that you just have to worry about that. And I've always said it's one meal. It's one day, one meal. If you screw up, just move on. Don't beat yourself up because you're just going to defeat yourself when you do that. You want to go to a meeting. If you can't afford going to Weight Watchers, look for a YouTube video. There's so many people out there on Weight Watchers that they're so helpful. I have so many people that I watch that just really motivate me to keep going. And I think that the reason I'm so successful is because of these people. There's too many to mention. I watch so many videos, and I don't want to miss out on anybody mentioning them and hurt their feelings. But also, if you join, they give you a digital tool, which is on your phone that it'll tell you how to work the app on your phone, which is kind of good because I kind of somewhat know how to do it. I don't know how to do the blue dot thing, so I stayed after the meeting and she explained that, so now I know how to do it. And and then there's a connect thing on your phone that you can do that. So you can do that. And then they also gave you the book, Eat What You Love. And it's just a lot of things that you can do. There's recipes in here that tells you different things that you can eat. And kind of give you examples of what you can do. And help you make a shopping list. I know a lot of this stuff I'm just showing you, and I'm not really helping you too much as far as what you can do with it. But I highly recommend Weight Watchers. I really do. I put it off for years and years. I went years ago to Weight Watchers. Actually, this is my 3rd time joining Weight Watchers. I did one back in the 80s when you had to eat liver once a week. And then I joined again, I think it was in 2012 with some friends from work. And I just wasn't ready. You have to be ready, and I just really wasn't ready. But I'm ready now. I joined again last year, and I joined with my 2 sisters and my daughter. They have left, and so I go to the meetings alone. But I love going, and I really do see this as being part of my life for the rest of my life. I don't consider it a diet. I consider it a lifestyle, and I think that I have the right mindset, and you have to have the right mindset. So you want to... this book here is Do What Moves You, and basically it's what I was talking about yesterday on my daily vlog is you have to have some sort of movement. You have to have some sort of exercise if you want this plan to work. Because if you just sit around and just rely on diet alone, it's just not going to work. You need the motivation of knowing, well, you know what, I did this exercise. Do I really want to eat this brownie after I did all of that work for, for that? Is it really worth it? Or you can also have the same mindset, I did all that exercise. I can have a brownie now because, it's not going to just go right to my hips. From your lips to your hips. I love that saying. But they do different things than telling you what kind of activity. They tell you to find something that you like to do and set a reasonable and specific goal. I love going for a walk. I don't consider it an exercise at all. I go every morning. I walk 2 miles. Bertie, my sister-in-law Bertie, and I go to a water aerobics class on Mondays and Wednesdays. On those days, I don't walk. But if I don't go to the water aerobics class, then I do walk. And I don't walk on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, by the time I get home from my meeting, I get busy doing stuff. Saturday's my cleaning day. I worked for I don't even know how many years. I worked for like 30, 40 years. So Saturday was always my clean the house day. And I still have that mentality. So Saturday is my clean the house day. And Sundays I go to church, and then my daughter comes over. And Sundays I do go out to eat. I maybe not go out to eat, but I get a carry out of some sort. And it's just time I spend with my daughter, and I track it, and then I move on. I might go over, and that's why my weight loss is not as rapid as anybody else's, because if I really truly stuck to the plan, I could probably lose 2 pounds a week. I really could. But that's not my life. That's not who I am. I want to enjoy my life, and if I lose weight along the way, that's the bonus. So, and I've been having a bonus for the last 5 weeks because I've enjoyed my life. I've eaten what I wanted to eat. I ate when I wanted to eat. And I didn't feel deprived in those 5 weeks. I really didn't. And then when I had a craving for something, I succumbed to it. The other day I had some candy, 5 little circles of candy. Not like it makes it sound like really bad, but it was 5 points of Lindt chocolates on an advent calendar. And no guilt. I ate it. I felt fine. I had a slice of cake for dinner on Thursday with some ice cream. I still lost 0.3 today. Not a big, huge loss, but I had a loss. And I didn't feel deprived. And on this plan, I don't feel deprived. So they tell you different things that you should do to figure out your activity. They give you a quiz, but I've talked long enough, and I don't have time to show you the quiz. Maybe on my daily vlog one day next week, I'll put the quiz in there, and you can take the quiz. And they give you 11 simple ways to sit less. So if you're at home, you want to set your alarm if you're not really good about keeping track of yourself, or stay on your feet. Well, track and see how long you sit in a chair. What are you doing? Like if I watch a show, I DVR just about everything. Jim and I watch a lot of TV, but we DVR everything so we don't have to watch commercials. But what I do is I stand up during that point of the commercials to fast forward through the commercials, and then maybe do a couple leg lifts and stuff, and then I sit back down. Every once in a while, I will pause it to go to the bathroom or to get something from the kitchen to drink or something like that, and then I do a little bit of exercise then. I park in the farthest spot now when I go to the store. I park as far away as I can, and if you're at work, what you want to do is send your stuff to the printer, send it to the farthest printer, so you have to walk a little bit farther. Instead of calling somebody, walk over to their desk, unless you're going to get in trouble for that. And then, just always try to think of something that you can do. You can always do a squat while you're watching TV, or you can push yourself against the wall, or have your hand on the chair and do some exercises. A quick little walk around the block, that should only take 5 or 10 minutes. And then most important, you have to shift your mindset. You can't think of it as a diet. You have to think of it as a lifestyle. And it's just the way you're going to live the rest of your life. And always think of how you would treat your friend if your friend ran into the same bad situations that you might have. If they overate something, would you tell them, boy, you overate, you shouldn't have done that? No. So be kind to yourself too. So you just got to remember that it's a lifestyle. It really is. And you have to shift your mindset. And try to find the first book. Here it is, because there were so many books they gave us. But it was a really great meeting. I'm really glad I went. Like I said, there's so many videos out there. If I didn't explain it very well, I only have 15 minutes, and which is more than enough, I know, for most people. But I'm a blabber. So I hope that I helped you out. And next week I'm going to have a loss. I'm going to have a big loss, and I'm going to get into the 40s next week. That's my goal. So I will see you guys on my daily vlog. If not, subscribe to this channel. I do a weekly meeting every Saturday.